Today, we have 26 countries that have formally committed themselves to deploying troops as a reassurance force in Ukraine.
We are not defending the interests of France by going to get killed in Ukraine.
We must leave the European Union and leave NATO. It is the only real, true break necessary to prevent war and move towards peace.
France is facing a deep divide over Ukraine, while President Emmanuel Macron pushes ahead with plans that could send French troops as part of NATO's post-war security force. Hundreds marched in Paris, led by Florian Philippot of the Patriots party, waving French flags and banners reading "Stop NATO's warmongers," "Macron out," EU, NATO, deep state, and Frexit. Their message was blunt. We're not defending France, but the European oligarchy. Anger is building against what protesters see as Macron's attempt to drag France into a war it does not want.
Well, I don't see what French interest we're defending in Ukraine. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. No, we'll defend the interests of the European oligarchy, the personal interests of Macron and von der Leyen. We must ensure that there are no French troops in Ukraine. That's the #1 objective.
The demonstrations come just days after Macron hosted the so-called Coalition of the Willing Summit in Paris on September 4th, attended by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Indeed, today we have 26 countries that have formally committed themselves to deploying troops as a reassurance force in Ukraine. This force does not aim to wage war against Russia, but to guarantee peace and provide very clear strategic signaling.
Macron insisted the mission would only be launched after a ceasefire, stressing it would act as a stabilizing presence and not a frontline combat force. Zelensky hailed the Paris summit as a breakthrough moment, calling the international pledges a vital step in Ukraine's fight for survival.
This meeting is needed. This is not a matter of a desire. This is a matter of necessity. I think that today, for the first time in a long time, this is the first such serious concrete step.
But Philippot and his supporters reject Macron's framing. They warn that deploying French soldiers risks making them targets, exposing the country to war with Russia.
Putin warned that if there are French troops there, they will be prime targets. There is a danger of going to war, and I believe the French would not understand why we should fight a war that has nothing to do with us.
The opposition leader went further, accusing Macron of betraying France by defending the interests of Brussels elites, rather than the French people.
Macron has betrayed France all his life, even before he became President of the Republic, by already selling Alstom. We must leave the European Union and leave NATO. It is the only real, true break necessary to prevent war and move towards peace. Free France for peace goes together. Free France and peace. There is no other solution.
On the streets, protesters echoed Philippot's calls, framing the conflict not as France's fight, but NATO's.
They are pawns in the hands of NATO. We are not defending the interests of France by going to get killed in Ukraine. We are defending NATO's.
The protest came just before Prime Minister François Bayrou faces a September 8th confidence vote. A defeat would force his resignation and plunge Macron's government into fresh turmoil, sharpening divisions over France's role in Ukraine. As Europe edges closer to a post-war plan for Ukraine, the streets of Paris reveal a stark divide. A president determined to show resolve alongside allies, and citizens who fear France is being dragged into a dangerous conflict not of its making.